Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought for the first time I'd give you guys the opportunity to see myself. A couple people have asked for more video presentations like this. I think it's an interesting idea. That way it feels like a face-to-face conversation, so you're not always staring at my phone screen, which I'm sure gets annoying for a lot of people, and then just hearing my boring monotone voice. Um, but I wanted to use this kind of as another way to illustrate what I'm talking about, to kind of like talk to you guys one on one in a sense. Um, and also there's a lot of videos I'm sure you've noticed where I just simply talk. I talk about a topic that I'm interested in, a technology, investing opportunity, whatever it may be. Um, and you might sit there staring at my phone for like the same 5 minutes, looking at the same screen, and I could see that I could get kind of boring, and then my voice is very plain and boring, so I know people probably just fall asleep listening to it. But I wanted to try this out, so I figured upwards of 3,000 subscribers. I want to keep it going, so I'm going to change it up. So with that intro aside, I wanted to talk about an investing opportunity that I think most people either don't think about, don't care about, or they think maybe it's like too far off. But a lot of it has to do with space exploration and how it is fundamentally, increasing technology advancement in countries all over, not just the United States. But like, certain technologies help, Air Jordans become what they are, baby food, how it's processed, many different things that you probably don't even think about that space advancement made it basic for modern day products. But one thing I'm interested in is because currently there's three countries: United States, Russia, I think the Soviet Union. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're the only ones to actually land on the moon. And there's close to 200 countries in the world, so that's a big deal. But what's interesting to me is we have private companies in America like Elon Musk and SpaceX, Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin, and Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic that are trying to privatize space travel. And over in India, which also has a private company, they're trying to land on the moon as well. And like I said, what's interesting about that is only three countries have done it so far. So you look at what that can mean for a country like India, who a lot of investors will kind of see as like the emerging market and growing economy. And I think they get snubbed, because people don't have a very open mindset when they look at other countries. They kind of just like myself, for instance, living in America. Plenty of people just like, America's number one all the time. They don't give a shit about anything else, and it's just very ignorant. They don't recognize that America is good in some things and America is bad in some things, And there are countries that have, just better healthcare systems, better social economic systems. America has better military. America has better banking system. Switzerland has like the best banking system. Germany is very tech, technologically advanced. There's different things that different countries are excel at, and people kind of just like are just very close minded about it, and it's kind of disturbing, honestly. But as an investor, you need to look for those opportunities that people are ignoring. But whether this private company will succeed in landing a spacecraft on the moon, the point is, if they do, that that country will be now among four countries that have ever landed a spacecraft on the moon. And they get, I believe, like a $20 million grant if they do. Now, the interesting part of that is a lot, and I live in the Bay Area, so a lot of Indians immigrate uh, over into the Bay Area, and they get a lot of jobs, and it's usually in tech. And in their country as well, there's a lot of jobs. Obviously, like I said, this private company, which I believe is one of like the largest ones with the space program, they're very technologically advanced over there. So you have a country that's very well vested in their space program, that's very well vested in forward thinking, very well vested in technology. And when people talk about emerging markets, India is one of the topics. Now, I don't hear this particular story get brought up very much because one factor that is very true, which is a big setback for them, is it costs like in the tens of millions to be able to actually fly into space, land on the moon. It's not like a drop in the hat, it's very expensive. Now, obviously, countries like United States and others that have already landed, more and more times going out of space, you find ways to bring down costs of fuel, rockets and everything like that. You bring down the overall cost of what you're doing. The concerning part is, though, with India's current technology, there's like there's like three or four more countries kind of in the running of who can make it as far as private companies go. But as far as India is concerned, their technology is very advanced. They're very far ahead. It's just the finance is really the main issue. And I believe they're using a government rocket currently, but they're trying to use it to land, and their projections are much later on. Now, could they beat out Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson? Huge American companies with billions of dollars? Maybe not. But like I said, America's already landed on the moon. Now, obviously, these guys would be a private company to land on the moon. That would still be huge. But if you want to buy a ticket to the moon, I mean, it's going to be like $250,000, So don't expect that you're going to be going there anytime soon. I know I won't. But for another country to get that opportunity to land on the moon puts them on a level, like I said, of only three countries currently have met that achievement. So I'm looking more towards investments in India, specifically with tech. Like I said, I live in the Bay Area. A lot of what I invest in, a lot of what I like is tech. I like Google, I like Amazon, I like Facebook, I like all those companies. Um, they have mega market caps, hundreds of billions of dollars, just throwing money like it's fucking nothing. And believe me, they spend it bad too. That's one thing with tech companies I noticed. They spend a lot of extra money. They pay their employees pretty good. You'll hear different stories from people. I mean, I've talked to people that work at Google, Facebook, and Amazon. I mean, I'm not going to bash any companies like that because, like I said, I invest in them. I don't want to talk down on them, but you'll hear different stories of how they're treated, the perks they get. I think even Google's like rated one of the top companies to work for, but a lot of them are frugal in certain things, but they just because they just have so much money, they just throw it out in other ways. They don't do a lot of good with reinvesting. That's one reason why I do bring up Elon Musk and in other videos because although his company is very high leveraged, he's got Tesla going, he's got SpaceX going, he's got his solar company going, he's working on his underground tunnels. He's got like four huge projects just right there that are that cost in the billions. And he's just constantly shelling out money trying to grow the business. Now, ultimately, you could think of the opposing side of being like Apple, where they have like a couple hundred billion just sitting in a bank. You might look at that as, oh, that's a safer investment because they have money for a rainy day, market collapse, or anything like that, which is true. But then you're looking at, I'm investing in a company that doesn't even invest in anything. They just have the capital just sitting there. And I would agree that you should have some capital on the side to always protect yourself. But I mean, if you're talking hundreds of billions of dollars and it's just sitting in a bank, like, what are you doing with it? And the only thing that company really makes that's the most notable is an iPhone. You could argue they got TV, iTunes, and everything like that, but the bulk of their business is that iPhone. So if the iPhone, for whatever reason, blows up like the Samsung phone or did or something like that, that stock is going to tank. So I got way off on a tangent, but like I said, a lot of these tech companies, how they spend their money is important. And when I look at, like I said, those three, Elon Musk, Bezos, and Branson, they're putting a lot of money into space, and that's what I'm interested in because that's going to be like the next big thing. Space travel is like, I can tell you from my own experience, like, never been to space. I would love to go to space. I can tell you a lot of people feel the same way. Now, I know it's much more of at least on the spectrum of age, like people like younger kind of have that ambition to go. People a lot older just don't seem to care about it. But with technology, it comes all the way around. When the internet first started and like sending emails was like the coolest fucking thing in the world. Even the dorky commercials back in the day were talking about the father and son talking about how email works and the kids explaining it to his friends and they're just like amazed. It's so funny to watch something like that really didn't happen that long ago. And you look to now, you could do online videos, you could do web conferencing, you could send videos back and forth. You could do Bitcoin, you could do finance. You could build autonomous machines. There's a MIT a cheetah that they built basically, and it has a video. It's just jumping jumping over like hurdles like it's nothing, and it's all done by sensors and hydraulics with the legs. Just how far the internet and technology has advanced in such short a time. It's only going to continue to grow that way. And a lot of these guys and companies, what they're looking for is to that space, that next level. And like I said, with that exploration comes a lot of modern technologies that we have in our day-to-day lives that benefit from it. So I think when people keep that in mind, looking for not only up and coming technology, emerging markets, um, and new investment opportunities, India is a good example, and this space company is a prime example. Um, but of course, whatever investments you're all interested in, it's your money, it's your business. You do what you want with it. I'm just talking about an example of an idea of an industry it seems almost too big to really be a part of, but like it's growing fast. It's not something that's just behind the scenes anymore. As soon as those Falcon 9s started re-landing, as soon as Bezos rocket started re-landing, as soon as Virgin Galactic put the fucking wheels on the plane and he's trying to fly it around and give like tours and stuff like that, like more and more people get interested, more eyes open. People get forward thinking, and a lot of big name investors invest in these companies because they're thinking long term, like what this is going to be one day. So keeping in mind, basically what you want out of investing, what I want to invest in, what everyone wants out of investing, you're going to always follow the big money. And the big money is always in tech, and the big money is always in forward thinking. Now, there will always be the old die-hard companies, that have been around for so long, but with every crash and recession, all those companies just show is they can hold money. That's really about it. They don't innovate. People nowadays want innovation. They want growth. They want opportunity. You look at the PE ratios of some of these big tech companies, they're ridiculous. They're completely overvalued, but as long as that company continues to innovate, people still invest. People are still interested. So I think ultimately what I'm trying to explain in this video is it started with space and just kind of went everywhere. But always think about what the next step is. I think that's one thing with investing that people always want to get the hot tips. They want to get the IPOs. They want to get in early. They want to get that hype. That rush, that feeling. But really, what they're doing is kind of buying into speculation. They don't know, where the stock is going to go. They don't know how well the IPO is going to do. Countries are going to want to continue to push up into space. Countries are going to want to continue to advance. Technology is going to continue to grow. That's never going to stop. You opened Pandora's box when you discovered the internet. You opened another Pandora's box when you created Bitcoin. It's only going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And I think as an investor, you should definitely have tech in your portfolio. You should definitely be looking forward thinking. But you should also diversify your assets. You look at my stash. I got Defending America defense stocks. I got bank stocks. I got healthcare stocks. In my Loyal 3, which is going to be converted to Folio First, I have like individual investments of tech stocks that I particularly like Facebook, Amazon, Google. My Acorns has a lot of like treasury bonds and big stocks like GE and like Pfizer and companies that are just so huge but just very steady, slow grow, because that's how the app goes. It's just slow and steady. It doesn't get those sharp spikes up or those sharp spikes down. It's just at a constant. I have assets spread out that way. It makes me feel more comfortable when if there's a collapse, there's bad news, bad earnings, whatever, and it takes down the stock. Yeah, one, maybe two of my apps will get affected, but since I'm spread out, overall my money stays constant. I stay in the green. So that's kind of why I set everything up that way. But I am tech heavy in my portfolio because I love tech. I love what it could do. I love its potential. And that's what I always think about is the potential. And I think that's what, as overall investors, you all should think about. Maybe you're in another country and you're hearing about the tech in America, and maybe you can or cannot invest in it. I don't know, but that doesn't mean your country's lacking in any way. There's opportunity everywhere. You have to find it. Like I'm over here talking about India and possibly investing in companies like this. And I'm an American citizen. You have to find those investment opportunities. You have to think outside the box. You have to think outside of your country. But the whole point I just want to get that across is people need to be more forward thinking. Always always look at the next goal line. You know, don't just see the finish line in front of you and think that's it. You know, look beyond it. So hopefully that makes sense. But going forward, I'll try to do some more videos like this, or really it's just going to be me talking. Um, and just maybe like some ideas I think of that I could tell you, and I can illustrate it better. I can, like I said, have feel like a more like a one-on-one conversation. I could talk to you. You can see a person. You could put a face to the voice. You know, if it helps you guys, that's great. That's the whole point. The whole reason why I started this channel is because I watched a lot of YouTube videos and I watched other people talk about this stuff because I was like alone in it. I had nobody to talk to. So I think this affords me the opportunity to pay back all those guys and men and women who did this before me, and you know, add to the total content available for you all to learn from. So with that being said, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. I'll do the best I can to answer them. I can't guarantee a perfect answer. I'm not a perfect investor. I'm not the best. I don't pretend to be. I just know what I know up to this point, and I continue to try and grow and learn more. And I want to share that with you all so you can benefit from it, so you also can get that growth. And as always, if you like my content, help me out. Click like and subscribe. I'll keep the channel going. And I'm going to start attaching my Bitcoin wallets to these videos. So if you guys want to donate to the page, that'd be incredible. Like, I want to get a camera. I like to get a backdrop and not this wall right here. I like to do something a little different. And the reason why I'm kind of going with the Bitcoin wallet is, one, I want to get you all interested in Bitcoin and hedging yourself against the market, getting outside the market, because if the market collapses for any reason, Bitcoin is not tied to the US dollar. It's not tied to that. It's not tied to the US market. It is exchangeable for US dollars, for euros, for pounds, for yen, for yuan, you know, all that, all the countries that adopt it. So it's, if you know, if America tanks and you can't get your money, get Chinese money, you know, get Japanese money, get French money. You know, you can still move your money around and and not lose everything you have in the U.S. stock market. But you know, I don't want to monetize videos. I fucking hate ads. I hate ads. I remember YouTube when it was young. It was awesome. Everything was free. It was. I don't know how long y'all been around watching YouTube, but it was just so much better. Now you gotta watch a goddamn 30-second ad, and it's just about something so stupid and unrelated to what I want to watch. You know, that's the whole reason why I went to the internet. So I don't have to watch stupid ass commercials. I don't gotta watch fucking Viagra commercials every 30 fucking seconds because apparently there's a boner epidemic in America. You know, I don't gotta watch all these dumb commercials that don't have anything to do with progress or innovation or anything that I'm interested in. You know, and I don't want to make you guys do like a Patreon and you have to put your credit card information, your email information, your personal number, probably your like social security, something like that, to recognize you, and then that's on that server. You know, that Patreon has that on your account. So if anything happens to their server, gets hacked, crashes, whatever, you know, that's going to affect you. At least with the cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoins, you know, Litecoin, Ethereum, you can make your own wallet, and it's just tied to you. And then if you have bitcoins in it and you would want to send it to my wallet, it'd be the same as if I took $5 out of my wallet, handed it to you, and you put $5 into your wallet. If you want to take $5 out of your Bitcoin account, send it to my wallet, and then I got $5 in my Bitcoin account. Like, it's me to you. It's decentralized. There's no middleman. There's no one trying to collect on money from you. There's no one, you know, trying to. There's no wire transfer. There's no my bank Wells Fargo to your bank Chase. You know, there's none of that. It's just simpler. It's easier. It's more trusted. You know, it's all computer algorithm. You know, there's no room for corruption. But like I said, the main reason is I would like to open up people's minds to what this is, what this technology can do. And I mean, if you want to learn a little more, there's a gentleman, Antonopoulos. I hope I didn't butcher his name, but this guy gets paid by all kinds of groups and schools and other entities that want to have him come and talk and explain Bitcoin, because he's very knowledgeable on the subject. So give that guy a look, and I'm sure he'll open your mind up. So with that, I hope the reveal wasn't as unexciting as I think it is, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Later.